What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 5-3. Man, I'm back again. Back again, man. Makeup time. Had to get me some of that good water in, man. I had a pill stuck in my throat, man. One of those glucosamine. Y'all hip to the glucosamine pills? Anybody that out there that's messing around with that iron, the glucosamine pills, they bring that overnight healing, man. Bring the joints and the ligaments back together. A lot of y'all don't know. Fooling with that iron, man, over a period of time, man, it destroys your joints and your ligaments, man. It pulls all that. You know, you got some people that can separate their shoulder, like a lot of people can separate their shoulder, and out of nowhere be wondering like, what's wrong? They don't realize that iron, tell you, man, that iron will mess your body up over a long period of time. But anyway, this story is not about no gosh darn glucosamine pills. Man, this story is a story about one of my homies that I told y'all the other night I was going to tell you about. My homeboy, Lil Pork Chop. My homie, Lil Pork Chop, was a bad man. The homie's no longer here. He AIP. He passed away about 2 years ago. I miss him. He passed away out here in Alabama. The homie was originally from Alabama. A place called Jasper in a place called Walker County. It's in Walker County. The name of the city is called Jasper, Alabama. A lot of people call it home of the mixed breeds. Cause in that little small town right there, they got some bad women, y'all. When I tell you they got some bad women, And a majority of them, well, a lot of them, I ain't gonna say the majority, a lot of them are mixed breeds. You in that place, black and white intermingle like this. Black and white intermingle. And that's one of them places, man, where you can go down there and talk to one of them white girls, and when she open her mouth, you would step back and look. You know what I'm saying? You would think she a sister. If you wasn't looking at her, you would think she was a black girl. I'm talking about fly at the mouth, spiffy at the tongue. You know what I'm saying? And then ain't gonna finna take no mess because they born and raised around number black girls. So they grew up and learned to act like them. And it's a lot of mixing going on. So anything mixed with black is pretty. You know, it makes pretty people. But anyway, that's where the homie was from. He got like OG cousins and uncles from the set. You know what I'm saying? From the set. Yeah. And eventually he decided he was gonna make his way to LA. So way back in the day, that's what he did. He ended up coming to LA, you know what I'm saying? And of course, if he come out there and he round his uncles, of course he was gonna be around the set. Now, of course, nature's gonna take its course. It was only gonna be a matter of time for the homies like, hey, cuz, what's up with food? You know what I'm saying? Gonna put him on the set or what? You know what I'm saying? Especially all his family was from the set too. He got an uncle, one of my OG homies, named Big Country. Big Country had a cold reputation back in the day over there on that east side, man. Everybody over there in them 50s and them 40s on that east side, they knew of Big Country. I told y'all a story once before about when I got packed out. Remember when I told y'all the story about I was trying to sneak out the back gate of Carver Junior High School and go get me some egg fouillon, and the villains caught me and they packed me out. Okay, so when I told y'all when I got back to the hood, I told the homies what happened, and the next day, man, Big Country hopped the gate and was up there. Big Country was the type of person, man, when he was coming, the whole school knew about it ahead of time, seemed like. And all you heard, man, Big Country coming. Who? Man, Big Country from 5 Trey, man, he coming. Here come Big Country. Man, and dudes would be scattering, getting somewhere. Pew, pew, pew. Like roaches when you turn the lights on. They got it there. So anyway, this was my homie Lil Pork Chop's uncle. So, you come from a strong bloodline, my friend. Come to find out his bloodline was strong within him. When he came, now I wasn't out there when he first came to the set. I was incarcerated doing time. So on. But now when he came, I got the 411 on him. Of course, back then, communication was real strong within us and inside behind the wall on the street. The homegirls were right, the homies were right. We keep up with it. So when Pork Chop popped up, what I'm saying, I got word about it. Hey man, we got a new homie, man. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so cool. The homie was a killer, man. He was rider. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you something about dudes. And people can attest to this. Anybody can attest to this that been around. When you have people that come, especially back then, LA still had that big reputation. So now when you had dudes that came from other states and they come to LA and they trying to fit in, they trying to, get with whatever group they trying to get with, they running with at that time, they figure in their mind, man, I got to put on. You know what I'm saying? They figure I got to do extra. They done heard all these stories about South Central LA, this, and this. So now they here and they running with the fellas. They running with the group. They in the mix. They part of the matrix, So now automatically they gon' do and go above and beyond because they want to prove to the fellas they around, even though I'm from here, wherever they may be from, they want to prove to them that they with the business. And so a lot of time they be putting on harder than the fools that's originally from LA. Cause they giving it all they got. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of time, hey man, you know how it go. Sometimes the homies would use them up, I'm not saying that was the case with the homie, but, I hear story, man, I used to hear story, homies, all type of different stuff in LA, different sets in LA. Sitting in prison walls, y'all sit in them cells, y'all talk about stuff, and boom. But anyway, the homie Chop was a rider, man, Lil Chop, man, Chop Deuce was a rider. He did his thing, and he was what you call a man child. At the age of 15 and 16, he was big as a grown man. He looked it like a big grown man. You know what I'm saying? And people thought he was a grown man, but they didn't know this was a teenager, 15, 16. Didn't care nothing about putting that work in. Even though I was not there, I used to get the 411 on the homie. He put on for his city. He did his thing, man. So a lot of times you got to realize it ain't about where you from. It's about where you at. Because truth be told, the majority of the founders of the gangs in LA was started by young men that came to LA from different states back in the 40s and the 50s, and got down for their grits and gravy, So anyway, this was the story of the homie Lil Pork Chop. Got to have that water, man. Been at that gym all day. But anyway, so he did his thing, man. He did his thing. Man, homie, now he not only did his thing in the street life, he did his thing with the women, man. Back then at that time, the homie was a ladies' man. He had a lot of women. He ended up having a lot of kids. If I'm not mistaken, I think the homie got like 10 kids. He got like 10 kids between Alabama and California, and maybe other places too that I don't know about. The homie had a lot of kids. Did his thing, man. I miss the homie so much. But anyway, so time goes on. He out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And he had a few cousins from Broadway, and from other little places. The homie ended up moving. Eventually, he ended up moving back to Alabama. He was a go-getter though. You know what I'm saying? The homie would get that money. He was about that money. He was about his gangsterism, but he was about that money too, man. He would do his thug thizzle. When I first got locked up, in Alabama when I was in the county jail. I met a dude one time, and the dude was telling me, I was talking to the dude, and the dude was saying, "Man, I got some family from California." So now, at that time, when I used to hear that a lot, people always said California this, California that, California this, California that. And back then, I would tell them all the time, I'm like, "Hey, look, homie, I'm from South Central LA. I do not care nothing about the rest of California." You know what I'm saying? Because we don't care about the rest of, you know what I'm saying? It didn't register to us like that. Now, when you leave out of state and go to different states, yeah, you be on that, that Cali type, get out. Oh yeah, homie, I'm from Cali. But that's how it is now. But you got to look back in the 70s, the 80s, the early mid 90s. Wasn't nobody tripping on California, except for people from different states. They would never want to say Los Angeles. They would always say, "Oh, you from Cali, man? You from California?" Boom. But us as Californians, we didn't trip like that. We repped the city we were from. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, California, but we repped the city. We were about the city that we were from. And so when I first got locked up in Bama, man, I used to always, "Hey, man, homie, what part of Cali you talking about, homie? I'm from South Central LA." And then they would switch over and say, yeah, LA. See, they would always be talking about LA, but instead of saying LA or Los Angeles, they would just say California. But anyway, I got past that. So, met a dude one time, and he was telling me that, man, he had family members, some family that was from LA. So then I was like, well, hey, homie, where you from? I had to explain to them cats, look, you need to know what set they from and their gang name. You telling me their real name don't mean nothing, because don't nobody, you know what I'm saying, especially for my generation, don't nobody trip on your real name. The only way you gonna trip on somebody's real name is if you actually grew up with them, know them from a child up. Okay, you know their real name, but other than that, don't nobody go by no real names. And but at one time, you call a person by their real name in LA, it was considered disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Dudes tell you, hey, homie, hey man, don't call me by my government. You know what I'm saying? That's what homies would say all the time. I used to see it in the pen and on the street. "Hey, homie, how you gonna call me by my real name, fool?" "Oh man, no, don't do that. Don't do that, homie. My name is Whoop Wop Wham." You know what I'm saying? His set name. So anyway, when the dudes would always say, they would try to ask me, do I know this, that, and say their real name, John McGillicuddy. No, fool, I don't know. No. What set he from, homie? You know what I'm saying? Then you got to say, because just saying their regular gang name don't mean nothing. You might say, "Oh, his name is T-Bone." But you got a T-Bone from every set in LA. So that ain't going to do no good. You got to know their gang name and what set they from. And a lot of times, dudes didn't know all of that. All they know is they cousin. "Oh, my cousin Billy." Man, get to the back of the class real quick. But anyway, so the dude was telling me about his cousin. But now he didn't know his gang name, nor did he know what set he was from. So you got to look this way back in 96 when he was telling me this. So, don't know. Never paid no attention to it, let it go. Years went by. Remember I tell you now, he asked me this question back in 1996. Years went by, about 11 years passed by. And I told y'all about this story. Here it is, 2007. I never forget, I was on my way going back to a poker game, going up the stairs with some coffee. And the same dude who asked me that question in the county jail, he came out his cell. And he like, "Hey, Toon," he was up on the tier. He called me. I was coming across the day room floor. And he said, "Hey, Toon." I'm like, "Shoot, what's up, homie?" He like, "Man, you remember back in the day when we was in the county jail and I was telling you about my cousin that was from Cali?" I'm like, yeah, I remember, homie. What's up? He like, "Man, he say he know you." "He know me? He know me?" I'm like, "What?" He like, "Man, he on the phone. He want to talk to you." Y'all know we got them cell phones. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay. So I shot up the stairs, went to cell, boom. He said, "Hold on," he told me to call you. Pop, 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 pop. So now he called Lil Pork Chop on the phone. He called him. So the homie answered the phone. He like, man, here go Tune right here, man. Woo, 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 woo. He hand me the phone. I'm like, cuz, what's up, man? Who is this? He like, man, this Chop. I'm like, Chop? I'm like, homie, Chop from where? He like, man, the homie Chop from Fire Trey, Avalon, man, Lil Pork Chop. Now, of course, by all this time later, you know what I'm saying, even though I wasn't real, you know what I'm saying, intimate with the homie like that, knowing him, I knew of him, he knew of me, you know what I'm saying? Because all these years have passed by, you know, I done heard of his exploits, he done heard of mine. I'm the big homie. So I'm like, Chop Chop? He like, yeah. So we go, I'm like, shoot, what's up, cuz? You know, we go to kicking it, chopping it up, wah, wah, wah. He telling me, yeah, man, that food man right there, man, that's my cousin. I'm like, I said, man, you know what, man, the man told me years ago he had family from the set, but didn't know. But anyway, the homie that was in the cell at the time talking, he was scoring big time. Come to find out, the homie Pork Chop was the one providing him, was the one, you know, giving him boom-de-bop-de-bam. So he told me, I'm like, he say, Tune, boy, if I'd have known you was up there, man, I'd have had you on Easy Street by now. I'm like, cuz, well, you know now? He's like, I got you, don't even trip. And he was a man of his word, true to his word. The next pack that came in, he blessed me down. He blessed me down. So anyway, years and years go by. You know, every now and then I call him, keep up with him. You know, now he was in and out the Alabama prison system too. But, you know, catch up with him. So right before I got out, I caught up with him again, and I told him I was finna get out. He like, homie, when you get out, I got you. Because by this time, like I say, he had moved back to Alabama. He was staying like on the outskirts of Birmingham. Right? He was staying between Birmingham and between Jasper. And so he was like, I got you. I'm like, all right, you know, cool. We'll see. Man was true to his word, y'all. When I got out, I had to go to a halfway house for 6 months. I went to the halfway house, and the homie, he was coming to pick me up. You know, when I got my first day trip, you know what I'm saying, from the halfway house, he was the one that came pick me up, looked out for me, man, bought me some clothes, and did all that, you know what I'm saying, was kicking it, you know what I'm saying, show some real Avalon love. I'm like, okay, you know, boom, 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 boom. So I did my little 6 months in the halfway house, and when it was time for me to get out, show you how real and how true the homie is. He say, cuz, look, when you get ready to get out the halfway house, don't worry about a roof over your head. I got you. I'm like, huh? He say, cuz, I got a whole apartment, fully furnished, all that, with the cameras, all that. He say, this yours. He said, I'm gonna put you in it. He said, I'm gonna pay your rent and all your utilities for the first 6 months. After that, it's on you. I'm like, for real, cuz? He like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, we from Avalon, homie. We all we got out here. Because it wasn't number 3 of us at the time. It was me, him, and my OG homie Fats. So I'm like, okay. And he stayed true to his word, homie. When I got out the halfway house, the man put me in a fully furnished apartment, and he paid my rent and my utilities and everything for the first 6 months. Man, you can't get no realer than that. And you know what I'm saying? It was all Avalon love. That's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? The homie showed broke bread, showed his big homie me that Avalon love. And real all the way around the board, man. We used to kick it every day, man. I would go out to his spot, you know what I'm saying, where he lived with his wife and kids and all that. And I got to know his whole family, meet his whole family and all that. And the homie, by this time the homie had gained weight though. He got biggest job of the hut. He had got biggest job of the hut, man. I used to tell him all the time, man, you need to lose that weight, homie. Come on, cuz, you need to lose that weight. He got to the point where he didn't want to do nothing but sit on the couch, slang D, and make money, and just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what he was doing. And I'd start telling him, man, homies from LA would come out, and they would kick it, you know what I'm saying? He would look out for him. I would help look out for him. And a lot of homies like, dang, cuz, you done got big, man. You need to woo, man. Shake that weight, homie. And as time went on, the homie started having heart problems. And where we would have to rush him to the hospital. And, you know what I'm saying, they would have to drain fluid off of him because the fluid didn't want to drain off of him no more. And the hospital have to drain him. I'm talking about literally stick tubes in him and drain all that excess fluid off of him. And they would tell him, man, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat it. But he didn't want to listen, man. He had a couch that he had sat on so much, the couch had sunk in like an elephant had been sitting on it. And I used to tell his wife, I say, man, you know what, man? One day I'm going to take that couch and I'm going to take it and throw it away. Throw it away. So time goes on, you know what I'm saying? We doing our thug this, we're just kicking it, man, you know what I'm saying? Anything the homie needed me for, I was there for. Anything, you know what I'm saying? He had a lot of connections around Birmingham, you know what I'm saying? Because he'd been doing his thing in Birmingham for years. And I met a lot of people through him. And you know what I'm saying? I just, connected the dots on a whole lot of different levels because of him. And it was like I say, even though I was the big homie, it wasn't nothing I wouldn't do for him because it was nothing that he wouldn't do for me. As he started getting sick, man, and the doctors told him he gotta lose this weight. The homie head got big as I don't know what, but he couldn't stop eating. He just greedy. Whoa, he was greedy. He would eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And I would tell him, I'm like, cuz, hey man, look, I would tell him, hey homie, you gonna make me put my foot down, cuz, man, you gotta start coming to the gym or you gotta start doing something, homie. He has tried to start putting them body sweatsuits on, them plastic ones, and walk a little bit. It was to the point, man, the homie walked to the edge of the driveway and couldn't go no further. But, once you get so heavy and you stop doing stuff, your muscles start deteriorating to the point to where they can't support you no more. They can't even lift you. And he got to the point, man, he didn't even want to go downstairs and get in the car and drive. He didn't want to go. He did not want to leave the house no more, period. It's like them shows, man, my 600-pound life. He was headed toward that. And so anyway, one night I called him. I'm say, cuz, I'm going to the gym tonight. I want you to go. He say, homie, I'm gonna go. And I was like, no, cuz, put that on Avalon, homie. You gonna go, cuz, for real. And I herded him into a corner, and he had to. He said, cuz, once he put on Avalon, it was written in stone. He said, cuz, on Avalon, homie, I'm gonna go to the gym with you. I'm gonna start straightening up, homie. I'm gonna stop eating this, doing that, da 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 da. I'm gonna get back into shape. I'm like, that's what's up, cuz. So when he told me that night, he say, look, soon as this baseball game, I think the Dodgers was in the World Series or something. He say, man, look, soon as this baseball game go off, I'm gonna call you and we gonna go. I'm gonna tell you, come swoop me up, we gonna go. I'm like, all right. The homie never made it past that baseball game, y'all. The next call I got was from his wife telling me that the ambulance had came and they had to rush him to the hospital. He stopped breathing. Me and my wife jumped in the car and we shot up to the hospital that he was in. He was in a hospital called Princeton. Anybody, all y'all from Birmingham, y'all know where Princeton at. And the thing is, the homie had passed away before they even got him to the hospital. But now you know how them ambulance do. They gonna fake break, act like they working on you and all that. But to make a long story short, the homie had passed away before he even got to the hospital. We was all sitting at the hospital and when the doctor came out and gave us all the news that he didn't make it. Dang. He didn't make it, y'all. I was messed up. My wife was messed up because, as y'all know, my wife from the set. You know what I'm saying? My wife, she from Fire Trade too. She was messed up. His wife was messed up. It was just a bad thing all the way around, y'all. And the homie AIP'd on us. The homie had to go to a better place, y'all. Homie had to go to a better place. And I miss him. But yeah, that's the story, y'all. A little pork chop from Fire Tray Avalon, man. A young rider. All the way around the board. Young rider. So anyway, I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. It's me, your big partner, Cartoon 53, man. I'm out. Peace. Yeah, Foundation. That's just a few pictures, man, of the homie, man. When we was out here in Alabama kicking it, man, before he AIP'd. Hope y'all enjoyed him, man. That's dedication, man, to the little homie, man, little pork chop. Eastside 53rd Street, AGC, South Park boys. I'm out, y'all. Peace.